Hey, what's up, you guys? It's Tati back with another review. I am in Tampa. Your girl went to Dynamite 200 last night. I could not do my review after the show because my voice was just horrible. You know how I said when I go to wrestling shows, there's just no way I should be leaving with my voice. And that's how it was last night. It sounded really horrible. So by the morning, it's much better right now. So I'm doing the review. It was a really great show. And I just absolutely love being at wrestling shows. I really feel like I am at peace. I am in a safe place when I am watching shows live. Now, before I do get into this review, I have to say something that really broke my heart. So for the main event, you know, it's Hikaru Shida versus Toni Storm. When I tell you, people were leaving. So many people left, especially in the first few rows on the side where the hard camera is at. A lot of people left. And later on that night for Rampage, the main event for the show for us that were there was another women's match. And that's when another like half of the people cleared it. And to be honest, I know there's something about women's wrestling that people are just not gravitating towards. And it just really breaks my heart because the women division needs so much help. And I really hope they get some help with that real soon. First match of the night, we have Chris Jericho and Takeshita versus Sammy Guevara and Daniel Garcia. Now, honestly, seeing Takeshita and Jericho together, they're not the best tag team or whatever. And I don't know if we're going to see them often, but if Chris Jericho is going to be part of Don Callis' family, then we'll be seeing them in situations where they do tag with each other. Now, Chris Jericho has not made his decision on if he's going to join Don Callis or not, but he's having this match with Sammy and Daniel. Now, he has an advantage here, which is that he is the mentor to Sammy and Daniel, so he knows their moves. He knows what they could be thinking in the ring, so that does helps him out against them. But we do have Takeshita, who's being more of a heel, and Takeshita even tries to do Daniel Garcia dance, and the crowd is chanting, "You can't dance," and well, he can't, but he's a great wrestler, so that's the good part. Now, they do have a great match, and I like that they started the show with this, but we do have Don Callis, who's ringside, who's definitely going to make himself useful for his team, and he ends up interfering in this match. So we do have Chris Jericho, who ends up putting the walls of Jericho onto Daniel Garcia. And while he's doing that, the referee can't see anything at this point, but here's Don Callis coming with Chris Jericho's bat and hits Daniel in the head with it. Now, Chris Jericho sees this and he's like, what the fuck? And he is hesitating. And Don is like, go for a pin. He's knocked out cold. He doesn't want to, but he's hesitating. But then he goes on and go for the pin and ends up taking the win. But he looks like he felt like he made a really big mistake. Obviously, Takeshita and Uncle Don, they are having a good time celebrating the win. But Chris Jericho feels like, damn, I did them dirty. I should not have done that. And you can see the disgust on Sammy and Daniel's face once they realized that he cheated to beat them. And it wasn't his idea, and it does look like he regret going for the pin, but either way, this is going to be a huge issue. A little bit later on, we do have Renee Paquette going to ask him about that win, but then Daddy Magic comes out, and he's like, next week, you and everyone from JAS, we're having a mandatory meeting, so I think this is going to be finally the time where they break up the whole group, and I do think that is something that is necessary. So after that, we have Tony Khan, who is thanking the fans, thanking the wrestlers for their first 200 episodes of Dynamite. And once again, he looks like he's being held at gunpoint in front of a camera. It sometimes is painful to look at. Now, we do get a video package of some of Dynamite's greatest moments, and it goes by pretty quickly, to be honest. I kind of thought like throughout the night we'll get like a little bit of flashbacks here and there of things that happened, but I guess this is the only time that they actually showed some memorable moments from Dynamite. Now, next we do have Jack Perry, who goes into the ring where Tony Schiavone is there. And before Tony can even say anything, he snatches the mic out of his hand and he tells Jerry Lynn to bring his senior citizen ass outside and come and fight him. Jerry comes out, but he's way past his prime, and no doctor would definitely clear him to get into a ring. And he said if he does touch Jack Perry, that would be considered child abuse, and he doesn't want to go to jail. So he has a friend from ECW that can come and get the job done. And as soon as he says that, everyone already knows it's RVD. The crowd is already chanting and everything. They know RVD is coming out. And yes, it is RVD who comes out, and everyone's marking out. RVD makes his way to the ring, and Jack Perry leaves the ring with his tail tucked in his ass. He don't want that smoke. So Jerry Lynn gets in the ring with RVD. They're happy to see each other. And while their backs is turned, here comes Jack, who gets a steel chair to go attack RVD with. But RVD already sees this coming. He goes for a spinning heel kick, and Jack ducks it, runs into the crowd, and shields himself with like a toddler. And I'm just like, holy shit, that's exactly what a heel should do. I'm cool with that. But I have to say, Jack Perry as a heel right now, I'm not convinced. His theme song, I don't think works for him. He's one of those people, once again, I have to say, who should have probably stayed a babyface maybe for majority of their career. If not, if they wanted him to be a heel, they should have gradually got themselves, working towards him being a heel instead of going straight into it. I'm not sure how well it's going to work, but I do think it's going to take a lot of time before he can be seen as a great heel. So up next, we have Trent Beretta, Penta, and Moxley. They're having a anything goes match. Now we have some tables and garbage cans already waiting for them before the match starts. And after a few minutes of this match going, Jon Moxley is bored and he really wants to get things going stronger. So he goes under the ring and gets a 2x4 that's wrapped around with barbed wire. And I'm okay with that. Now he starts going to town on Trent Beretta in the ring. Meanwhile, we have Penta and Alex Abrahantes. They're setting up two tables outside of the ring. Now, ultimately, what ends up happening is Trent ends up crashing Jon Moxley onto those tables, but Trent does eat up some of that table too. So they were out on the tables for a little bit, and I thought maybe both of them were really, really hurt, but they end up getting up and continuing this match. Now, this ended up actually being probably my favorite match of the night. Now, unlike the other matches after this, we have something consistent going on here with the Best Friends, Lucha Brothers, and BCC. Since Death Before Dishonor, every week we're getting something brewing with these groups. So it's something that is consistent where there's a story going on. So unlike everything else that kind of felt slightly random or didn't have a really good build. So I really did like this match. Now, I do think here that this match really favored Trent Beretta. Lately, I've been feeling like, first of all, Trent needs to be doing solo stuff because he's a really great wrestler. But he's been like in a losing streak with the Best Friends, or if he's doing solo. So this was a really good showing for him. Sometimes I feel like they have to do these type of matches to get the best out of someone, and I really felt like that worked out for Trent Beretta. So the match continues, and we have Penta that gives Trent a beautiful avalanche destroyer onto a table, and then Moxley is like, you know what, we need more fun. He goes under the ring, get a bag with thumbtacks on it, sprinkle that shit all over the ring, and now all three of these guys are fighting over the tacks. It is absolutely insane. So they're all covered up with tacks, and Jon Moxley even sacrifices himself just so he can go swimming in the tacks as well. He's crazy, and we love that about him. Now, the ending of this match, we do have Jon Moxley that gives Trent Beretta a King Kong lariat. So Trent, he's out for a second. So then we have Penta, who is going towards Jon Moxley, but Jon grabs him up, put him in a paradigm shift over the tacks. So his head hit the tacks, and he is going for the pin. And right before he can get on top of Penta, here is Trent Beretta with a knee strike to the face. So now Jon Moxley is knocked out. Trent gets on top of Penta, who is still sleeping from that paradigm shift, and ends up taking the win. I absolutely love this ending. However, there's more drama. Moxley is mad because Trent took his pin. So he snatches him up, put him in a sleeper, and here come Claudio and Wheeler Yuta coming through the crowd. Everyone is waiting for another beatdown from the BCC. But then here is Chuck Taylor and Orange Cassidy coming to help his friend. They're fighting with Wheeler and Claudio in the crowd. Then they make their way out to the ring, but this time BCC decides to retreat after Jon Moxley gets an orange punch. Now they're out of here, and here comes Chuck Taylor letting them know that they want to have a parking lot fight at Daly's place, which is in Jacksonville, and he wants them to have a fight there. So it's going to be Chuck and Trent versus Claudio and Jon Moxley. So that will be on Rampage. Obviously, we did not get a chance to see that, so I'm pretty sure they are filming that probably today or maybe tomorrow, and then they'll add that onto Rampage for Friday night. I like where they're going with their story. Next, we have RVD and Renee Paquette backstage. RVD is challenging Jack Perry for the FTW title. Honestly, I think that's a really great idea. I really don't see RVD taking the win, but it still would make sense as someone who has been in ECW to be able to hold the FTW title. So I'm not mad at it. I really hope we get a really great match between Jack and RVD. I'm hoping for some really good chemistry. Now, next we have MJF with a really long promo talking about how he was bullied as a kid and later on becoming the bully, I guess. And he's saying that, you know, it's easy for him to get everyone to boo him and everyone to not like him, but it's much harder for him to be the babyface, be vulnerable, and be liked by everyone. But he wants everyone to know that he's still our scumbag, and we get a chant from the crowd saying, "You're our scumbag." Only in pro wrestling will you see things like this. Now, I ain't gonna lie. I want my old MJF back. I love heels, and I really do think that what MJF is doing with Adam Cole is really entertaining. I enjoyed that too, but I think ultimately he's just better off as a heel. And even when he's doing this promo, he's still coming off as a heel in a sense where it's like later on, he is going to get everyone by, I got y'all all into my, falling in love with me and all that stuff. And later on, I'm going to betray everyone and do exactly what you think I'm going to do. And to be honest, I still think right now that it's going to be Adam Cole that's going to turn on MJF. So anyway, MJF have Adam Cole come out. Adam comes out, no music, and they're talking about how they like each other and all this stuff. I'm not gonna lie, this whole thing went a little too long for me. Now, ultimately, we do have MJF who says he doesn't deserve a match for the Triple B like he promised him. What he does deserve is the match for the Triple B at All In for the main event. And honestly, I think that's a really great idea. We still have another, less than 4 weeks before that pay-per-view. So this is enough time for more things to happen where we can enjoy these two together as a tag team, as friends, and maybe we might get some type of betrayal at All In. I am all in for this idea. So after that long-ass promo, Adam Cole and MJF are making their way to the back, and they are besties. Meanwhile, we have Roderick Strong with his neck still braced up from getting fucked up by Samoa Joe, and he is raising hell on AEW equipment backstage because he is mad that his best friend Adam Cole is all shacked up with MJF. And so here comes the Kingdom, and they're like, you know what? Adam Cole has forgotten who his real friends are, and that makes Roderick even more mad. Now, I'm hoping we do get a heel turn from Roderick, since Roderick has been in AEW, hasn't been that long, not even 2 months. I don't think we gotten the best from him at all. We did get some good moments or whatever, but nothing to really, really stand out. And I do hope that a heel turn can help change things for Roderick while he is there. And then somewhere down along, Adam Cole becomes heel and they can be like a heel group or whatever. I'm not mad at it if it ends up happening that way. Up next, we have a trios match. We have Jeff Jarrett, Jay Lethal, and Satnam Singh. Yes, Satnam Singh actually is back in the ring. versus the Elite. And the only thing I could think of is, holy crap, if only it was just me and Kenny in this building, just us two, just for a few minutes. Guys, trust me, all we would have needed is just a few minutes. Now look, this match right here, it's nothing important. There's no story, no build, no nothing to it. It really feels like we need the Elite to be on this card. We're just gonna snatch up any three people, put together here, and have a match. Nothing really over the top about this. But we do start off with Matt, who is in the ring with Jay. And after a few minutes or so, Jay is going to go tag in Satnam, but he hesitates a little bit. And Matt is like, bring his big ass up in here, I can take care of it. So Satnam comes into the ring. Here is Matt's head right here, and Satnam is all the way up here, and he's like, whoa, this dude is huge, let me go tag somebody in. And he walks over to go tag Kenny or Nick, and both of them just walk away like, bruh, you got it, you got it. And he has to take care of it since nobody wants to get tagged in. This match, it was fun, had some great moments, but it's nothing to go out your way to go see. Now, we do have a crazy part in this match where Kenny goes to do a one-winged angel on Satnam Singh, and I'm just like, bro, you are losing your damn mind. You will break your spine in like so many pieces. It's absolutely insane. But he goes to put him on his head, and here comes Sanjay, who interrupts that. So if in real talk, Sanjay saved Kenny's life, because if he would have went to do that, he could have killed himself. Now Sanjay gets involved, and during this time we have Karen. She's distracting the referee and everything. So here's Brandon Cutler with that spray bottle, sprays it on her, and then Sanjay goes and attack Brandon. It feels really random or whatever, but they're going at it. Brandon and Sanjay. It's like the battle of the Stooges. It is what it is. And to be honest, I wouldn't mind seeing those two guys in the ring. You know, they're there for comedy relief, but they're actually great wrestlers. They're decent. And here comes the Hardys. They come and get involved or whatever, and it's just like, okay, well, the Hardys and what's their name? Jay Lethal and friends. They actually have a storyline going on for the past few months now. I'm overseeing them in the ring together, but at least them being there made some sense. Anyway, the Elite end up taking the win, and after that, we also, I forgot his name. Hangman Adam Page does come in the ring, and he does deliver a buckshot lariat one time for everybody to go marking out about. Elite takes the win, and they let everybody know that yes, they have re-signed with AEW, so they are not going to WWE like Dave Meltzer and them been saying for the past few weeks or whatever. And I knew for a fact that there was no way that we were going to see the Elite leave, especially going to WWE. Not after Triple H called them a secondary company. Yeah, that would have been crazy. Anyway, the Elite made the right choice to stay in All Elite Wrestling, because, well, it wouldn't be All Elite Wrestling without the Elite. Alright, y'all, so on to one of my favorite moments of the night. AR Fox, Swerve Strickland, Prince Nana, little promo, and plus, they have a movie for us. Now, we have AR Fox, who is talking to Darby directly, letting him know, Darby, you said that there would be no Darby Allin without AR Fox. I trained you, and when your ass was sleeping in your car, I left my doors open for you rent-free. Did he say that exactly? Not really, but I'm just putting that out there so you can know a little bit of the backstory, because obviously he's feeling a little hurt about how Darby treated him. Now, Darby, when he got signed to AEW, he didn't call AR Fox and say thank you. Where is AR Fox? Thank you for helping you get to where you're at right now. And he's feeling some type of way about that. And honestly, I can understand. Now, AR Fox says he had not talked to Darby until AR Fox stepped foot into AEW. So what kind of friends are you, Darby? Now, they do have a little movie to show us, and we see Swerve and AR Fox making their way to the Buddy Wayne Academy, aka Nick Wayne's garage. He's already training over there with somebody. I don't know who it was. When they make it in there, and you better believe it, Nick and whoever he was training with, they got a beat down. So they beat up Nick Wayne. Nick Wayne, they even took, I think it was a light bulb or something with glass, and they hit Nick with it. He is bleeding all over that ring. Blood is everywhere. So then here's Nick. He is crawling on the ring to go reach his phone. He's going to go get it, but then Swerve sees it and snatches that phone. AR Fox holds him down and says, put your damn password on that phone. We want to make a phone call. So he puts the password in. Swerve calls Darby. Darby thinks it's Nick on the phone. And he's like, hey, buddy, what's up? And Swerve let him know, bitch, this is not Nick. This is Swerve. We need to talk. And he said, look, you see how I'm giving you a call and I'm talking to you on the phone? Where was that energy when you got signed by AEW? Why you didn't call up AR Fox? He feels hurt about this. Now, we're going to have to do things a little differently now. So now we have this story going on with Darby and AR Fox. Obviously, the Mogul Embassy is involved in whatever. And the way they shot everything, then the way everything happened is really, really cool. And I just have to say this. Don't look at it as AR Fox is being a little pussy because he didn't get a thank you. The truth of the matter is that this is a real life matter. When you help people and they don't, thank you for being a part of their success, it's kind of fucked up. But either way, I like the story and I like the matches and things that we're going to get out of this. So I think this is going to be really, really great. It was so fun to see Nick Wayne get his ass kicked. I loved it. Up next, we have tag team action with Commander and his partner El Hijo de Vikingo versus Aussie Open, and the ROH title is on the line, which I'm not happy about. You guys know I always talk about ROH on a weekly basis, and their tag team division definitely needs help. I don't mind anyone from ROH, performing on AEW, but once again, they are defending those tag titles on Dynamite instead of on ROH, and this is something that they're going to have to leave these title defenses on ROH for and try to get new viewers to come over and watch those matches on the Honor Club. Anyway, I don't have too much to say about this. You guys already know all four of these guys are really great in the ring. Now, Commander and El Hijo de Vikingo, they really do complement each other as tag teams. I do prefer them doing solo, but if they ever need to team up with each other, I think they have great chemistry. It's been feeling like they've been throwing these two guys in with random people as far as trios and stuff like that, but these two guys work well together, have great chemistry. The crowd was feeling it. It was a good time for what it was. Obviously, Aussie Open ends up retaining, which no one's surprised about. But I do want to see Commander and El Hijo de Vikingo tagging again. ROH matches, especially title defenses, need to stay on ROH. So after that match, my daughter's letting me know how much she loves Aussie Open now. That's great. They're a really, really good tag team. But then she wouldn't stop bugging me about getting a pretzel. So I was like, you know what? It's commercial. Let's go get it quickly before the girls come out. However, it did not go quickly because everybody and their mama was leaving the arena before the main event. And I'm just like, yo, this is insane. So I did miss a few minutes of it, but I went back and watched the show. Here's the thing when it comes to this match. For the past 3 weeks, we've been seeing Shida on Rampage. There really has not been no build with Shida and Tony. Now, Tony, she's been champion, but I don't feel like we've seen enough of her as a champion, unfortunately. So there's no real build with these two girls. Half the people who watch Dynamite are probably not even watching Rampage, so they haven't seen Hikaru Shida these past few weeks going against like Nyla. She went against Marina, somebody else I can't remember. So you haven't really seen her taking some wins that's supposed to help her look good on her way to getting the AEW women's title. Long story short, that is part of the reason why people don't want to stick around. There's nothing to really grab you. The only thing that will grab you to be interested in this is saying, well, Toni Storm is a heel. We can't stand the outcast. So if a good guy goes against her, we want the good guy to win. That's pretty much it. So no one seems to kind of care when they kind of half-ass this whole thing to begin with. Now, Hikaru Shida ends up taking the win. I really don't even need to get into details in this. You guys already know the Outcast gets involved in this match. However, that does not help Tony. real talk, like I said, it really broke my heart to see people leaving before that match, during that match. It didn't really make sense to me. Especially with the people who are sitting on the front row. How are you paying $500+ for tickets and you are leaving before the show is over? You're leaving before Rampage that comes on next. If I pay that much money to be at the show, you better believe I'm also going to watch them take the ring down, because I need to get my money's worth. Now, at the end of the day, there is some changes they're trying to make with women's wrestling, and I get it. Just like how they put Athena versus Willow as a main event for ROH, which was a tremendous match, one of the best matches so far this year. However, Toni Storm and Hikaru Shida does not do what Athena and Willow end up doing a few weeks ago on that pay-per-view. There was actually a story with Athena and Willow. This time, there's nothing going into the women's title match, and that's unfortunate. And things like that are the reason why people are not interested when it comes to ladies being in the ring. Now, the 200th episode, it felt great. After the show, we had Tony come out. The whole roster came out thanking Tony. Everyone is, really happy that Tony Khan helped made something like this come to life. Me too. Obviously, I'm all decked out in AEW stuff, and I'm always, talking about them, and I want them to succeed. If they want another 200 more episodes, they have to do better. I like what they're doing, but will it be enough for us to have Dynamite 400? Yes and maybe no, but I'm really hoping for the best for AEW. You guys, I didn't do Dark Side of the Ring. I'll give you guys that in a little bit. Thanks for watching.